Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and build update number 1 of Polar Lights Batcycle with Robin's detachable go-kart. This is way cooler than I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was going to be way cool. Let me get the box out of the way, and we'll look at the instructions here. I've already started this, completely blew off doing an unboxing, so I apologize for that. When I realized I didn't do an unboxing, I was already like way too far into it to do one. But you get Batman and Robin, the little go-kart, and the Batcycle. Not a whole lot of instructions for this thing. It's pretty much paint and put together. And so far, I've had a blast painting it. So let me fold these up and get them out of the way. Oh, and by the way, they come in 2 languages. I believe French. But easy to follow so far. I did have a couple of head scratchers, which go figure. One of them was I couldn't, for the life of me, remember what the heck this was. This is a piece of chrome, just drops in the back and put everything together. I couldn't remember what this is. I looked online, and there are 3 tubes. I don't know if it's missile launchers, maybe torpedoes or something, because it's not going to be an exhaust over here. The exhaust is on the bike. So if anybody knows what that's supposed to be on the original Batcycle, not the model. Model, it's a piece of chrome, and I drilled it out to make it look like the tubes. But let me know what it would be. Like I said, all I could think of is like maybe a flamethrower, or squirts oil out the back, or photon torpedoes, or something. But I sure don't know why it would be there. They're just aluminum tubes on the original one. So head scratcher. Can't remember, but it looks cool. And I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It just looks cool. So I started this thing out by going straight for the bike and the little sidecar for Robin's trailer. And I'm going to pull you back just a smidge so we don't get seasick here. These 2 pieces, the tire, which is 3 pieces, and the whatever those are, needed all sandwiched together, but I wanted them to sandwich together where I didn't have a seam in here. So what I decided to do is tape off the tire, just halfway. If you look, I can kind of roll this around, and you can see the tire still under there. So I just taped it to where it's hidden, put it together to where I could take the tape off later, and not get airbrush all over the tape. And then I painted the white first, and then came back, and there's a nice divot in here all the way around to follow for the masking. So I masked it off and then went with a black, and pretty much that's the way the whole thing rolled out. The cart went together pretty well. Nothing fancy to it. They don't give you a light for the back. It's just kind of like a what we call in the machine shop a phonographic finish. So what I'll do is I'll mix some of the UV resin with some of the UV resin dye that I got, thanks to Bruce from Bruce's Eclectic World for turning me onto that, and we'll make a tail light for it. We'll just put some on there, a little dome or whatever, and hit it with that for a minute and be done. And if you want, let me know in the instructions, in the comments below, if you want to see that done, because I can film that while I'm doing it, no problem. Just let me know. So what I did here is I scalloped this. I left the back black because that's the way I figured I was going to do it, and went from there. No clear coat, no buffing yet, no nothing on this. It's just that's done, and I re-chromed the tubes. So there's the sidecar, which is really cool. Let's get the main part of, well, let's grab this. The fairings, same thing. It took me a while to clean the parts. There was a lot of, not flash, but a lot of mold lines that just needed addressed through the whole thing. Nothing major, but it just took about 3 hours of me screwing around. It took two B movies. I watched two B movies while I was doing this. But then I did the same thing. I painted all the white. I did all that at the same time, and then came back and I painted the black over that, masked it all off. It's supposed to have a very small red outline on these, and I think I'm going to try to find just a red pen and put it in that groove and be as light. I'm either going to do that or I'm going to try to flood it with the Kaleido, just Kaleido red, and see if it'll do like panel liner, because it's an airbrush paint. See if it'll do like panel liner almost, and just capillary action it through there. It's deep enough for that. Well, I'll see. Or I'll just leave it the heck alone and be happy with the way this is coming out already. Didn't do anything on the inside except for real quick. But, there's those. I got both sides. Learned something here. I scratched the white, taken off the tape. And I put a good dinger in there. And I took the Kaleido paint and I put it in a drinking cup, and I didn't let it sit. Usually when I paint with the Kaleido paint, I let it sit for a few minutes. And I put it on a very pointy brush, set it where the scratch was, and it filled up that scratch. Can you tell me where I fixed it? So I'm jazzed with that, because that would have been a mess. And it was just me with the tweezers being heavy-handed with my Snicker bar fingers. Oh, you know how it goes. Sometimes you win, sometimes the kit wins, and I think I won. Except for this. I remembered to paint the tank white, but I forgot to paint the scallops in the back white. And this I'm just going to hand paint silver, and then I'll paint that with transparent red. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to mask this scallop off all the way around, mask the whole friggin' thing off, prime it, because I don't know how the Kaleido white's going to go over the black. And you see, I didn't even really try to paint in there. I was like, you dummy. So I'll hit it with primer, probably the white primer, and then come back with a Kaleido paint over top of it, and we'll be good to go. I'll hit that at the same time or whatever, and then we'll get it red the way it's supposed to be. I can do that. I painted this the other day. I like to leave things sit for a couple of days with the Kaleido paints to let them cure out. This I think I want to hit with matte black. I think this is like a knee bumper, like it's supposed to be rubber. It looks that way on the interweb pictures that I've seen. So we'll see. Going with that, but it's working out good. The kit went together pretty well. You can see I still have a little bit of a line in the front here. I'm okay with that because everything's going to be on top of it and it's going to hide it. But the back covered up pretty darn well. So, good to go. The fender, I just painted black, but I'm trying to find it now. The body, the main bike frame, I went different than the instructions and what the real bike is, because I always thought it looked dumb. And it's just me, but since I'm doing this bike, I thought I'm going to do it for me and make it the way I think it would look good. If you look, all the scallops are white on here. All of them. The tail, everything. They all come down to the white. But with this, where the black is now, is all white, and where the white was all black. And it always just kind of jumped out here. You can see it on the box that I just threw on the ground. It always just looked to me like when whoever did the bike jerked up the instructions just a little bit. Look at, see? And they went opposite what it was supposed to be, and it was too late. I mean, you're under production and all that, and let it go, where I have the chance to make it to where I think it's going to look proper, especially with the black fender over the top of that, so it will give it those scallop looked. And it is what it is. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of that too? You know, it's not a huge change, but it's going to be an eye catcher. A lot of people are going to be like, well, that's not right. Well, no, it's not, but I like it this way. The other thing I just did is I chromed the front strut. I chromed the lower end and transmission cover. Painted gunmetal for the chain. Aluminum for the back around, where the pulley goes. I chromed out just the bottom of the shock where it's going to go in and out, because I wanted to. I wanted to have a little bling back there, and I like this. It's starting to really come together well, and I'm telling you, I'm really surprised, and I shouldn't be, but I really am surprised at how fun and how nice of a kit this is. And here's the other side, and you can see I did the same thing with the scallops. And actually, I had it taped the other way. And when I cut for the white, and I was looking at it, I'm like, that just does not look right. So it just bugged me. I don't know, just me. But now I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way that's going. I don't want that to spin around and touch the other one because the chrome's still wet. The handlebars needed a lot of work. There was a lot of mold lines on there that just stuck out really bad. So I basically sanded away 3/4 of the chrome on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. I noticed on the original that the grips are the chrome with black underneath them. So I'm going to panel line those. I am going to drill out on both of the brake and the clutch, and just Hollywood the lines down into the bottom, because that's a real show off. If it's not there, you're going to notice it big time. The panel line went straight across both the clutch and the brake. Am I saying that right? Yeah. And looked horrible. So it did. It took me a while to get this looking to where it is, and thank goodness for the fusion firm. Let me pull it out here. Thank goodness for this stuff, because it's really a game changer for stuff like that, where you have the chrome, you want it to be bright chrome, but you can't have it the bright chrome because you don't have a way to do it. Or you have a $30 bottle of spray that lasts you 2 seconds. So there's that. The exhaust. Again, I had to sand 90% of the chrome off of this thing to get rid of the big mold line that was on it. I drilled out the inside. I will blacken that at the end, but I drilled that pretty dang deep in there. It was flat, just like the back of the other thing. Those 3 tubes, it was flat. The little go-kart, same thing. These took a while. I'm telling you, they really did. Expect to take a while on them just to make them to where they look this good. Again, I'm going to run the 2 lines. I'll drill this out, and I'm just going to run 0.3 millimeter solder down and just Hollywood it out of the way. That's all it needs. It'll still look great, especially with this go-kart. This thing is pretty stinking cool. And painted very nice too. I was able to glue it all together to where I got rid of that front seam, and the back seam I left because it's going to be up in there, and no way you're going to be able to see it. So there was no sense in me spending 2 days to sand it, fill it, sand it again, prime it, paint it, sand it again, fill it, and then get a final on it. For something that's going to be up against the back, because I am not going to make this to where it comes out. The tires are going to be solid in there. I'm going to glue it in. Again, it's all personal preference thing. The decal's going to look so good on there, and then the clear over top. There's not too much to this kit. 2 axles, the hand grips, a decal, and the glass, and that's it. 4 little tires. I'm using this just to hold this. I wanted to keep it flat so nothing ran, because I accidentally hit the trigger a little hard on that. The little rims, I'm leaving them the bright chrome. I just panel line the centers just to highlight the lug nuts. And the tires on these are pretty neat. Look at how they're shaped. They're set up to where you push them on, they go up against this ring, and then they just kind of hang there. So we'll see how that all works out in the end. I haven't done anything with the headlight or the turn signals. I think they are. I'm not sure. The gas cap I did hit with the panel liner, so we're good to go there. I think these are the foot pegs. They don't need anything but glued on, so we're good to go with that. I'm loving this new. I have this. Check this out. I have the slotted sprue holder, and I'm loving this thing. Before I had everything, as I was going through it, I had everything stacked on here, and it worked out very nice. Now all I have is the chrome and the 2 axle pins, and I'm just leaving them on here just so I don't lose them, and they don't even really fit that well anymore, but they're out of the way, along with the tires and rims, which all I did with these is hit them with the panel liner in the center just to dull it down a little bit, and I left the spokes kind of blingy. Oh, this is Batman, man. He's going to have some bling. Speaking of he's Batman, let's grab these guys who are still in pieces parts, and there's a reason they're in pieces parts. But first off, there is great detail in these that just needs to be painted out. I think I might. This is Kaleido's gray primer. I think I'm either going to use this or I'm going to jump into their mecha colors. There's a light gray in the mecha colors that I might use for this. The cape, I'm going to go with, I think, a sepia blue on that. But the front piece right here, and they even have it set up for it, should be black. Right up to above his eyebrows, in between where his ears go. That part was black. And then everything else was that sepia blue. And then his leotards and stuff were the gray. And the belt and all that. But I'm jazzed with, this is the stuff I love to do, is this brush painting. And they made it to where you can do a good job. Even though he's going to be bent over like this, you're never going to see it. The cape is going to ride up across his back like this. So pretty much everything they're doing is kind of hidden, but I don't know, so what? It's there. The cape, again, will get the sepia blue, and I'm going to probably mask all this off and spray this whole upper thing, his whole chest and up, with the sepia blue. I think that's how you pronounce it. It doesn't sound right coming out. And then I'll come back and I'll paint the flesh. Gallery's new part B of their primary colors has 3 different kinds of flesh colors. So Batman, I'm going to give one tone. Robin needed to get out in the sun from the pictures I've seen. He's going to get a lighter coat of the flesh. And again, I'm going to probably brush paint that on, doing just like, that's a bad way to show that I'm holding that. Didn't even think. Um, but I'm just going to probably brush paint all the flesh on him using the Kaleido's airbrush paints and just letting them sit for a few minutes before I hit them with a brush. It may take 2 coats, but that's okay. It's still better than trying to mask all this off and spray it. If the arms weren't attached, I would have, masked everything off. I did glue the legs in. I could have got away with it, but I'm good with this. But look again with the way I'll be able to paint the R, the yellow for his shoelaces going up through. The green on this, I'll use the Kaleido. I forget what color it is, but I have them all pulled out. I went through everything and kind of matched it up, and I even went on ChatGPT and said, "Hey, what Kaleido paints should I use to paint Batman and Robin?" And man, they gave me the list, and I came down and I pulled them all out. So I'm going to pretty much follow the ChatGPT list, except it didn't give his hair. I'm going to use probably brown and maybe a dry brush or maybe russet first, and then a dry brush of brown over the top of that. But man, I'm happy with these so far. You can see I still have a little bit of filling to do. That's my bad. I sanded these in the sanding dust, filled that in. I thought it was tighter than that. So I'll hit it with filler, and that's why you prime it, so you can see that stuff. Jason has a good video on priming and why you prime, and so you can come back and sand and see what you're doing. And I've been following that, and it's really been helping me out. But, it is what it is. Same with Batman. Batman's not as bad. I got a little bit of filling to do right here and right here, but he's going to be easy. So there's Batman. There's Batman's feet. Check this out. There's good detail all around, even to the wrinkles in his boot. So we're awesome there. His glove with the shark fins on it, or the bat fins, I guess they would be. But to me, they always look like shark fins. They look great. This is going to be just such a cool kit all around. Oh, Robin's cape. This is the only thing that I'm not sure if I'm going to follow the ChatGPT's suggestion, because I might use the bright gold mixed with the yellow in there, because this seemed like it had a little bit of shine to it, more than just being glossy. It was almost like it had a gold weave in it. Take a look on some of the pictures and see what you think. But that's going to look good. It sits down tight on his back, so everything's good there. Now it's just me getting to where I'm going to be working on these guys. I got 3 days on the body before I can do much of that, because I did use the Fusion Firm, and it takes 3 whole days to don't touch. So some of it I just did today. Some of it, like the exhaust, I did a couple of days ago. So we'll just wait 3 days on all that, and that'll give me time to get the Dynamic Duo all painted up and put together and done right. There is a whole bunch of the Dynamic Duo. I'll keep bringing all this over here. And I didn't show you. There's Batman's torso. But again, look at the detail in there. Really nice. Now, he sanded up well. There was some big marks in there, and that's how I figured it out, because this is just 2 pieces that sandwich on top of each other this way. I didn't do the bike seat yet. I think I may go with the matte black on the bike seat and gloss on everything else, and then hit this before I glue it on, I'll hit this with quick shine. It'll bring the gloss up a little bit, but it won't be the high gloss that I'm going to get after I put the clear varnish, the Kaleidos clear varnish, or gloss clear varnish, over the rest of it. So there's a quick lowdown of what I've been doing after I finished my Camaro. I'm in the middle right now of waiting on starting the next group build, which I did the unboxing for. That's going to be the Hellcat. Coming up in June. So if I'm not done with this by June, it'll get put in the box or get put away for a while. And then as soon as I get back, they're done with the Hellcat, which is going to be a huge build. We'll get back on this. I have some bad news about the Texaco station. I tried my darndest to get enough room to work on it, and it's just not going to happen. Not where I am right now. Once I get moved and in my new shop, it'll be where I'll have room to breathe. But right now, I would be tripping over myself trying to work on the Texaco station. So it's going to get put back away again until I have time, or until I have space. So it is what it is. I hate doing that. I want to get that thing done because I really enjoyed working on it. But for right now, I'll let you go. This is going to be kind of a shorty, I think, or a longie. I haven't been paying attention at the time. Let's thank Gallery for everything. So far, everything except for the fusion firm that I have done on this kit has been Kaleido paints and Gallery equipment for the painting. And it hasn't disappointed. Let's not forget, I got the 24-hour build coming up October 17th at 8 a.m. Like, I need to tell you 8 a.m. when we're still 3 or 4 months out. But start not buying your cup of coffee now. Just once a week, don't buy a cup of coffee. Take that money and donate it to our cause. I'll have a GoFundMe set up once we get going. Probably in July, I'll have that set up. So save that coffee money, and you can donate it to there or take it over to our merch store. Pick up some merch. It's really, I'm happy with everything. Let me go back. I'm sorry. I've been using this quite a bit. You can see it's dirty. I love this thing. It is perfect for just bring it down to the shop. I throw ice in it. This thing will keep ice in it all day. So I'm loving it, and it's not that expensive. And if you want to pick that up, whatever extra, whatever the store pays us is going to go straight into the 24-hour group build, into the GoFundMe. So that'll help. You can come away with some merch and still help out the cause. Let's thank our active duty members, our veterans, and our first responders for putting it on the line every single day. I salute each and every one of you, and I thank each and every one of you. And I hope everybody else does too. We're summer mode now on Automotive Model Car Livecast, so it's every other week. This week they're on, so check them out. They always have a great show. And I want to thank all of you for your subscriptions, your comments, your kind words, and everything, especially when Terry was in the hospital. You guys are awesome. And that's from the bottom of my heart. So you all have a great day, a better tomorrow, and honestly, thank you very much for watching.